Alright, hello and welcome. This is CT5. I'm reviewing another match I played in the ongoing Quick Draw tournament. This is me against SaphireSeas, and we had a really cool first game with a fun little lesson, more of a review lesson, something I talked about, and I'm sure you'll see it when it happens. So let's get started with the draft. Once again, I'm in the white bases down here. My one warrior, two wizards against their two warriors, one wizard. Let's see how to make use of this. And ooh, this is a interesting pick. So slippery, very powerful. You don't see it very often. Could be very cool. Could let me set up fun stuff. Polearm slash. I mean, it's stab armor against me. Like it's reasonable. Not the most exciting, but it's reasonable. Then all out attack. Could be hilarious. Could be. I mean, it's all out attack. Its highs are very high. Its lows are. It's just a weak strike. Sometimes it's a block check and you're sad and stuff. Now what's cool is that with all out attack and stuff, like if I get control of my wizards, that could give me the time I need to set up all attack and try and make sure I draw a big attack if I also draft one. So there is a really good opportunity and potential for all out attack potentially. So I think the pick is between slippery and all out attack. There are very good arguments for both. What did I pick? What did I pick? Oh shit, am I playing at 1 point? Oh, need to play this at 1.5 times speed. Otherwise we'll be here for a while. And here I am mentally contemplating these the reasons for slippery all out attack. I mean, slippery's also a trait, like it's so good. God, man. Slippery is really cool, but you only get one of it in Constructed. Imagine being able to play with it in Quick Draw. I went with All Out Attack because I've been playing with it in Constructed and whatnot, trying it out too much now. This really hurts. Ouch, fumble, trip. Trip on warrior? I mean, trip is just so bad. You don't want to be stuck. Ever. That's why picking move cards is very important, right? Then ouch and fumble, both anti-synergistic with all-out attack, right? If fumble, then what? I discard my all-out attack that I've been holding and saving. But with ouch, I reveal that I have all-out attack so they know not to get near me and take damage in the meantime. Awful. Ouch is probably the way to go because fumble, a lot of card disadvantage all the time. If I get turn 1, I'm stuck, can't move, not good, right? Like, ugh, that was sucky choice to go from. Okay. Reliable Mail should be the pick. Minimizes ouch damage both if I actually take damage as well as it not being an attack card. So I should take Reliable Mail. But I'm looking at Inquisitor Strike. Why? Because I need a big attack for all out attack. Blah. I'm being dumb. I've committed too hard on the all attack. I need to trust, right? When you draft, there's still cards to follow. You gotta trust the draft. Reliable Mail was the pick. This was a big mistake. It definitely felt like a mistake. I remember having immediate regrets. And look, powerful hack. Big damage to go with all attack, right? That could have been great. Instead. Now, okay, it looks weird to take the barge instead of one of the other big attacks, given that I have all attack and whatnot. My reasoning, I have Inquisitor Strike, which with all attack will do enough. 16 damage out of nowhere, plenty big chunk if they happen to have traits or whatever, maybe more. What's cool about barge is getting these people away, getting their people away from my people. And having that barge is probably a really nice surprise. And yeah, right. If they don't have moves, I can potentially strand them with barge. So it's actually a very reasonable pick. If I had gone reliable mail, as I was saying, I 100% take the powerful hack to go with auto attack. But because I took the Inquisitor Strike, the sort of utility value from Barge goes up. Then again, there's still an argument if you just go super hard on all-out attack, just big numbers all the time. So, that was the reasoning anyways. Up to you if you agree with it or not. Do let me know if you agree with it or not. I by no means profess to be amazing. Like there are hard picks, and yeah, when there are hard picks like that, let's talk about them. That's part of the fun in draft. Forgot what the other options were. I think I went with Tricky Stab just to be able to poke, and also Tricky Stab it's hard to block 3. It's basically unblockable for most things. It like, turns basically everything into like a unreliable block if they can block it. And so having that with auto attack is also not a bad backup option. Flank move, hell yes. I need the movement. I super want the movement, and because I have Tricky Stab, I can now set up like a truly unblockable flank move into Tricky Stab. And then Inquisitor's Badge, random piece of armor, saves my hand. I don't take damage from ouch. Cool. And now, what do we do here? Could go in the damage plan with Mighty Spark, and if you watched my other recent video of a quick draw match against Magus, I talked about the debate between Winds of War and Gusts of War, so check that out. Gusts of War actually has a lot more value in this one because I think Gusts of War has more value in this one because being able to move both of their people around, or again, even my person to get in position and stuff, can be really, really useful. Yeah, because he has 2 words, he wants to go in on me, the 4 range is less of an issue in Gusts of War. What were the choices there? I think I saw a fumble. Well, that's too far back. I saw slowed, which I picked. But we just talked about this. We just talked about this. God damn it. Oh, what an annoying set of handicaps on both my characters. And I went the walk team, which makes a lot of sense. My warrior doesn't have that much movement. It'll be really useful to make sure it gets movement to do stuff. And then being able to move my dwarf wizard as well. Wizards typically not known for their movement, so having that option, very, very nice. Okay, actually, kind of an interesting pick. I could take Spin Around to cycle, pretend I have a trait. Glob of Flame as a damage option that also sticks on them. Right? It's out of my deck for color turn, so it fulfills a very similar function. Alternatively, short Perplexing Ray. Right, this could be the control wizard to just mess and fluster the opponent's warriors. And again, by getting rid of an attack, that makes things safer for my warrior as well. And I can potentially pick off blocks or movements, right? If I get lucky with the SPR. So I think SPR is the way to go. It is what I end up picking. From that discussion, don't pick Spin Around. Because Glob of Flame, by not being in your deck, serves the same function as Spin Around. By thinning your deck so you get your better cards better, while it does damage in the meantime. Okay. All 3 of these stay out of your deck, so that's pretty cool. Hotspot, most damage. Acid Blast, potentially good for dealing with random armor, or as we talked about in my other video, there are nice spots on this map for wizards to plop terrain to annoy enemy movement depending on where they go, right? If, like, the elf wants to swing around this way to stay out of line of sight of my wizards, and then I plop an Acid Blast here, or other piece of difficult terrain, they're kind of stuck in an awkward spot. So, good argument for Acid Blast as well. Path of Night is probably the weakest one to pick, but if you do plop it on, you can potentially awkwardly put someone in a weird place. It's like I have the Guts of War, so it's like it could be cool, but probably the weakest one to have. Also, they could have Vengeance. Can't forget about that. Okay. Telekinesis. I picked Telekinesis almost certainly the best one. Whirlwind enemies could potentially be hilarious, but between the Gusts of War and the SP, like, telekinesis is a very surefire thing, and yeah. There is an argument for whirlwind enemies. It wouldn't necessarily be bad, but there is potential for whirlwind enemies to be really, really, really bad. And so having telekinesis as a sure option, very cool. Stone Spikes versus Weak Armor, they both serve the function of just sitting in your hand and like thinning your deck in a way. Right, because if the card's in your hand, that means it's on your deck. And if you play all your other cards, then you can keep drawing them. Stone Spikes, extra bit of damage, probably good. Given that she has so much, especially given that she has so much control, right? The Gusts of War, the SPR, the telekinesis, enemies probably aren't going to hit her. So having the extra damage probably makes more sense. Okay, Arcane Aura like Arcane Man, Arcane Aura is cool in that the extra 2 damage feels a lot bigger than Arcane Shell. But Arcane Aura isn't a free card if it gets broken off, and then once again the biggest trap with Arcane Aura and Shell is it's entirely possible you just don't pick up damaging cards later on as a wizard. So do I go for damage or control? I went with damage. Pick Potent Spark over Winds of War. Probably thinking that my human wizard has enough, and having a little bit extra damage to cover for it would be useful. More bad picks. Don't take Prestidigitation because it's a mandatory action. Really bad. Arcane Curse can potentially cause you to lose cards, and at 2 range is really hard to get rid of, right? Don't do it. Arcane Feedback, 4 range, easy to poke. Ugh. Actually a cute option. Acid Jet, probably better than Illusion Wall in terms of, you can make difficult terrain with it, some damage. Surging Bolt, nice bit of surprise move. Illusion Wall is cute to mess with the enemy wizard, but only 1 wizard for 1 turn. Don't take Illusion Wall. If there were 2 or 3 wizards, Illusion Wall might be a reasonable pick, but not here. I take the Surging Bolt, opting for movement. Which makes sense if you stay out of range of the warriors. If the warriors can't hit you, you're winning, right? That's part of the idea. And nice! I have an Acid Jet. Ooh, hover trait, yes please. I need that. Normally the black card is a trait, ideally. Ooh. Oh, Kindler or Flank Move. Ooh. Flank Move might have been better, actually. I was feeling safe because... having the trait is actually cool. Flank Move... Wow, it's a tough pick. I think I opted for trait instead of Flank Move because my human wizard has Gus, Telekinesis, Walk Team. And I Surging Bolt, so it's like enough. That said, Flank Move with Potent Spark or Acid Jet? I have the linear. I missed that. That might have been better. Good to know. Obviously, trait, hard to go wrong. But, yeah. And Stone Spikes, more annoying difficult terrain, more damage. Cool. Alright, so that's the decks. Let's see what happens in the actual game. And a werewolf. That's kind of discouraging. Alright, dwarf moves there, totally normal. Everyone's moving up. This is normal. I'll probably play the slowed next. I'm hovering it already. And then... So one thing you'll see me doing is play around Ouch a lot on my human elf. By that I mean I will heavily discard attacks just so I don't take excessive damage from Ouch or reveal that I have all out attack and whatnot. For better or worse, right? Like not taking the reliable mail forced me to go really hard into playing around, ouch, for better or worse. He passes. That I did not expect, but also makes sense. Slowed is effectively a pass. They might as well pass. That makes sense. I'm not used to good players, playing against good players. At least people that pass often. I guess I'm not used to playing against good players. I don't play that much, so. So that was a tricky moment. What do? Where go? I could pass. I could run. There's a lot I could do. I could run out just to get victory line of sight. I could dash just to take victory square. Reasonable option. That's a wacky ass place to go. I guess I was wondering what they might do, but cause like the spot in front of the victory square right here is the safest to go to if I want to avoid line of sight from the enemy wizard. Well, okay. When moving, on maps when there's a victory square near you, you choose to move forward, right? You have a decision to make. Either just take it to the victory square and sort of play an awkward-ish, slower game, or take the initiative and just get your people into better positions, into better positions on the board, and then have a stronger following next couple turns. Celestial Lines is the biggest notable one where it's really easy to just step onto the one next to you. There's the victory square next to you, but then life gets weird. It can often be better just to take more forward position, go from there. That said, you know, that'll depend on your build too. If you're warriors and you can actually really make something happen by going forward a lot, you might as well. It makes more sense too, but anyways. Let's see what happens. The one cool thing, I do have Inquisitor Strike, so the werewolf is less annoying in that regard. I was kind of surprised he discarded the run from last round. But, you know, people are allowed to do things. That's okay. What do we do here? It's a waddle. We run onto a nice little spot. Note the 4 range, which is good for if the opponent gets onto this line. That's 4 spaces away from me. Unfortunate in that if the wizard moves around, I can't move him out. But, ooh, what are they up to? Oh, I passed. Wow, I passed. I somehow didn't see that coming. I haven't been passing much lately. I've been really impatient and frisky, and I decided to pass. Look at me go. All right, he used one move here. I'm feeling a lot more comfortable because he can only go, you know, this far, barring steps and stabs and whatever. But like, all right, he did that. I can do this. All right, I can be reasonable now. It's cool. And oh, that's why they went there. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Luckily, I do have a lot of terrain. It's pretty cool. I use stone sights to also conveniently prevent a charge move. That was definitely one thing I was worried about going here. Now, okay, they passed. That freaks me out. Your opponent's passing. These are doing good things. Also means you have to start considering, don't potentially try not to overcommit if they start passing because they're waiting for something, right? So I've made life somewhat uncomfortable for him by doing that. Kind of glad I didn't fish out, Yeah, I'm glad I did not trigger the block. So it passes. Alright, so this is a reasonably good time to pass. Free damage. I do lose a star, but again, better to give up 1 star than to lose the whole match by overcommitting unnecessarily. Now, the reason I've been saying that I was surprised I passed and that I haven't been passing much is, look at how frisky I am when I play the stone spikes to get rid of the other bit of illusory terrain. In my defense, being able to threaten and see over there is reasonable, right? It did feel awkward though, right? I used the stone spikes, then the acid jet, just to poke, and then I had to use one more piece of terrain. So I spent 3 cards to get rid of their one, their their one minor terrain, and give it back to them so then they can replay it later down and mess with me again. Don't feel great. It might have been better to pass. And okay, so this turn, I didn't draw ouch this last turn, so now I pitch all my attacks so I don't take ouch damage. Probably excessive at that point, but reasonable. Oh, it would have been a great time to fish out the block, but it didn't fish it out. That makes me sad. Makes me so sad. He walks. Okay, that's reasonable. He didn't necessarily have to do that, but it actually makes sense for him to threaten. Like, there's an argument for the opponent. He could have passed there. Takes 3 damage, whatever, he's a dwarf. If I pass, he gets another star. Great, right? Would you trade 3 HP for 1 victory point? A lot of the time, yes. So now what do? I'm debating, because that warrior is kind of annoying. I could pass, but now he gets a victory point for free? That seems worse. Now I'm feeling like I have to do something. So what do I do? I don't... Yeah, what do I do? And it's like, I don't want to move with my warrior at that point, right? Like, not a good place to move. I don't really want to get next to him. Yeah, I have ways out, but like... Yeah, I'm just helping him. Then I realized, oh! Tricky Stab, basically free. Basically unblockable. It was unblockable against the surging block. It's hard to block 3. He moves in. Haha, take this. Dang it, I really wanted to fish that out. I've tried so hard to fish it out and I've got nothing. For better or worse, having the barge revealed is annoying for him. Like, he probably knows that his warrior can't get too close. It's annoying for him to have to plan around that barge with his elf warrior that he's been waiting for this whole time. Ooh, what happens here? Oh, I get the damage, I get the poke, see the monster's hide, of course. But opponent's mark hard to block, so pretty nice. That dwarf is surprisingly low. I can at least feel somewhat better about that. The elf, the werewolf isn't a very commanding spot on the board. Right in the middle of those 3 victory squares where a lot of fighting will happen. He can just calmly do that and get a free victory square. I don't know, was that the right move for him? Because he has a person on it, right? And like, if I move back, that feels like a mistake from their part. So I will say, this person I played against felt very legit. Like, their passing and stuff, and the way they're moved and their draft, like, they know what they're doing. They are a good player. But that felt like a mistake. They either could have passed or just taken a more aggressive position. Especially because he knows my Dwarf Wizard is out of cards. He knows I only have 1 attack from Barge because the ouch didn't reveal that last card. He could be afraid if he's afraid of the human wizard, which has done basically nothing, that's reasonable. But like, say he moves to like around here, right? He has good sight lines and everything now. Like if I decide to run back and just to deny him a victory square, he maintains a huge, like that's just a much better positional advantage for him, right? If he can just run me off and press me back against this part of the map, that's fantastic for him. Yeah, I think he could have passed. I think he should have passed instead of moved. If he's afraid of the human wizard and wants to wait for a human wizard to do something, he already had control of the victory squares. He could have passed. Okay. So minor little guffaw, but... Ugh, man. 6. Yeah, you can't even see... What's he up to? And look, like, if I have victory squares like this, like, okay, he didn't know about the walk team, right? But if I end up having control of victory squares, then you standing on it is kind of like, what's the point, right? So that might have been the only reason this game was as close as it is. Ooh, dash team. Big oof. Big oof. What's the plan? Probably puts it on the victory square. Does not put on the victory square? Huh. Got him. So, difficult terrain is tempting. For the damage, if I push it there, it was only pushed 2 spaces away. Should have pushed it there. And haha, dumb dwarf. And the reason I say I should have pushed it there, if I wasn't going to go for the damage, I should have pushed it there to avoid that. I could have stolen the star that round and I missed it. I could have snuck a star that round and I didn't. Alright, baby. Do you have the block? And now we see his defender's block. God, that's frightening. Now what's funny is defender's block is so strong. I don't know what their other picks were instead of werewolf, but I don't think you take werewolf form because this way you always have defender's block up. It's something they have to play around like all the time. That's super annoying. Also, they had an extra card in hand. That's annoying. This could be Harness, could be Lucky Charm. Wizards have, like, with staff with Lucky Charm. Okay, I could have passed. Instead, I tried to fish out the block, and I failed. I could have fished it out. I could have passed because I had control of the victory squares. Ouch! Ember Burst, that hurts. I should have been more wary of that. I knew they had it. Did I pass her? Can I not see the wizard? Okay, now that pass was a mistake. I passed once to see what he does, because if I pass now, they should take the pass, because that gets him one step closer to redrawing those 2 bursts he just played. And look, 0 cards in deck right now. So the 2 bursts he played, I guess Ember Burst, but he's probably going to draw one of those bursts again. And if he keeps bursting my wizards, I'm in huge trouble. So that pass was a mistake. I needed to play something to prompt. Yeah, I need to play something. The one good thing about passing is I get my dwarf wizard gets cards again, but I'm kind of in trouble, and I think I need to do something. Like, I should, like... Yeah, I could have dropped terrain at some point. But anyways. I didn't. So here we are. I think I hold on to the all-out attack. Oh, I pitched the all-out attack. Okay. Okay, that's nice to know. Hard to block. Hard to block. It's a nice bonus. And here, I'm like, oh, I can flank move Tricky Stab. Or I could also walk away. But what do? Flank move, Tricky Stab, unblockable, out of defender's block range. Cool. And I get bursted. Ouch. So you see what I'm saying? Like, you got the burst. You got the burst. Surprise. No one's surprised. He had 2 bursts. God. Hurts. I should have moved away. That dwarf was not in any real range to threaten one. I had the unblockable thing on command, ready to go. If I keep my person alive, right? If dwarf had moved, say, back here. Like here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. She was right on the edge, so she would have been safe. Or it would have prompted a move up from the wizard if you wanted to kill, which one I could then use Gust of War, fish out block, turn this one first, fish out the block, then hit the wizard and push him out. So I should have moved. I saw the kill. I didn't think. I remember in game I worried about when I made that second pass. I had that same thought of, oh crap, he's going to take the pass because he's going to draw the bursts again, and I didn't play around it. Calm down, right? Sit on your hands if you need to, and take a deep breath at moments like those. I use Gus first? Oh, I'm trying to go for a kill or something. I'm trying to do some funny stuff. Yeah. So I'm just gonna keep something in mind. Got 3 stars right now. What's the best way to win? If you're at 3 stars, most likely way to win, get control of the victory squares, then maybe try and kill someone. That might be hard, but I have auto attack. I can do anything I want, right? There's potential. There's a lot of inherent comeback potential just from that. And now, what do? Acid Blast. I'm thinking real hard. I'm looking at the dash. I'm thinking real hard. And I should pass. And I don't, because what I'm thinking is, okay, I have barge, so I can be funny. If I dash to threaten his wizard, and he uses the dash team to try and get to my elf, I barge the werewolf away, then I run onto the victory square, I laugh. I laugh forever. If he just uses the dash team to get after my wizard, I can just run away, no problem, right? So that's my thinking. I move, I scare him, and bait him onto trying to hurt me. And honestly, if I wanted to bait him further, I should have stuck back here so he lands on the victory square, and then the barge. It's so much more tempting for him that way, because he's also in the same situation. If he gets the victory squares and kills one of my people, he wins, right? So by standing here, it's more tempting for him to go here, and I can barge him away. That said, he knows I barged because I revealed it from ouch. So I think he sees that. I think he calmly runs away. And I pass. I'm so ready for him to use dash team, and then he passes, and I'm like, oh shit. I thought about everything except for him passing. So you gotta keep that in mind, right? Before you commit, right? Like, what happens if they pass? What happens if they pass? Gotta keep that in mind from time to time. And ooh, that makes me so scared. And here I realize, hang on, he could have an arcane burst. I need to run, otherwise I'm gonna die. So I learned my lesson from the dwarf dying down here from the Ember Burst. I see the chase. I'm fine with that. I have to hope. I could also run to the corner, because he'd have to move, then chase me. So I have to hope they don't have the Vicious Thrust. I go in. Here might have been the better option. Yeah, I think I needed to go here. But I have the walk team to get me there. There's the Arcane Burst, which is expected. Inquisitor Strike, all-out attack. This is my time to shine. Ah! Harness survived. No, no. So it was very close. That was a very good game. It was a very good game. It's unfortunate, and there were 2 opportunities I had to get that 6 star. Right, the one I pointed out right there, with the Acid Blast, and then a bit earlier. Where was it? It was around here. Yeah, it was here. I used the Vicious Thrust. If I gust him here, Vicious Thrust only gets him here. He's not in Victory Square. I get the point. So I messed it up. That was a bummer, but I had a really fun game. This was a good game. I don't feel that bad about losing because it's annoying knowing that I could have won, but you know, you make mistakes so you can learn from them. I was correct in not going, like, I was proud of myself for not going for the damage here, because it's like, there could be something, but then I moved him there, and I should have moved him there. So, it's like, my eyes just got to this side of the board, and I forgot that I could have gone there, and just, because if I go here, like, he still has line of sight, so it didn't matter. Anyways, I messed that up. Whoops! But hats off to the other person, they're a good player, and, yeah. Remember, think about what you need to do to get those 6 victory points. Think about how you need to win. Think about what happens if your opponent passes after you make a move. Keep that in mind. Go kick ass. Alright, thanks for watching. Probably my next video will be an actual video of me, like a more like live video of me playing, probably constructed. Because I'm out of the tournament with these 2 losses. Alright, thanks for watching. Hope that was fun, and I'll see you all next time.